Hey guys, I decided to do another video. I originally promised to do some more videos than I've done following my physiotherapy progress, but life can get crazy, as we all know, and busy, and I'm not an avid YouTube person that makes videos all the time, and so I did end up slacking on that a little bit. So I apologize for not following through on that end. But I have been reading all the comments from the two videos I made, and wanted to say that I just feel for anyone that has gone through with having this surgery and feels like it was a not so positive outcome. Some of the comments are people saying they felt like their doctor or their surgeon wasn't great. That's very unfortunate. I would hope that any surgeon practicing and doing this sort of thing would be competent, but I suppose, like anything, there can be a wide range of, levels of experience and the outcomes that could happen. So I feel for you if that's what's happened. It is a very slow process. I'll mention again that I just feel like this surgery took a lot out of me. It's important to listen to your body, I think, and not expect too much too quickly. And it's easy to do that. We want to get back to life and we want to be back to normal and doing all the same things and have our body back to use for all these things that we do. But listening to our body and taking time and realizing that with the Latarjet procedure, I was told takes a full year for the bone to get back to that same level of strength that it was at before the procedure, or for it to integrate. I mean, I guess the bone in my case was pretty depleted in the front. I had some bone loss, but it does take a full year, I was told. So I'm at the 6-month mark now. It's February 21st. On the 19th, I saw my surgeon for my 6-month follow-up. It was nice to go see her. This was the last follow-up, unless she said I had any major concerns. I did not have to return to see her. And she checked my range of motion, and she's quite pleased with it. So as far as that goes, it's been great. Although strengthening and physiotherapy and, yeah, that just regaining core strength is a big thing for me. And unlearning some muscle memory, negative patterns from being in the sling for the 6 weeks, as well as prior to that, just guarding my shoulder because I dealt with it for so long, having that instability. So this is where I'm at with it. I can't stress enough how important it is to have people on your team that can help you through this phase. One being a great physiotherapist. You have to find somebody. I know it can be expensive. I'm paying for that out of pocket. And so it can be challenging for me to feel like I'm going enough. Ideally, I would be seeing this person twice a week. But I can't afford it. And she is really good. So she's quite busy and it's hard to get in to see her that much anyhow. But I've recently started just splurging, and I've seen a really great massage therapist. So that's another person that I think makes a huge difference. From being in the sling for the 6 weeks, you're kind of in a hunched over position and things are awkward, and it actually created scar tissue in between my ribs. I guess like just a stickiness, like almost like a scar tissue from not being able to stretch out that side of my body for so long. So this is something that I found, it almost like my body gets adjusted at physio and I feel like I'm in line and everything's good. And then I just start to like twist back around the 2-week mark. It's quite frustrating because 2 weeks isn't that long. And around the 2-week mark, without a doubt, I'll start feeling my body twist back into its weird little pretzel shape that it goes into. So the massage has been really great. She's amazing. I just go online. I go into my community. I go on Facebook. I go online and I ask for referrals. I say, hey guys, who is the best? Because I need these referrals to know that I'm going in the right direction, not just randomly choosing someone. So she's actually done massage in between the ribs. It can be a little uncomfortable, but really great. She's also loosened up a bunch of the muscles around my shoulder, and that as well can be pulling me out of line. And as soon as I start getting pulled in a different direction and things kind of tighten up that way, it can actually cause a little bit of pain in my shoulder. So very important to stay on top of your stretching, your exercises. I'm preaching, but I'm not the best at it all the time. It can be challenging. I get up early. I'm a single mom. I have to get my son to school in the morning. I ended up getting a dog during this whole experience, which was maybe a little bit crazy. But as far as having the time off work, while I was on medical EI, it was the perfect time to spend training a puppy, and it's been really, really rewarding, and I love her so much. So this has been great. Life has changed a lot for me through this experience, but yeah, just like making the time to get up a little bit earlier, to stretch out my shoulder. I honestly feel like it's always going to be something that if I don't stay diligent with my stretching and my strengthening, I will wake up feeling stiff, and I'm going to feel it in that area. This is an area that will be susceptible to that. Yeah, some of the comments, I know other people live in other countries than Canada. I was fortunate enough living in Canada to have my surgery covered by our medical plan. So that's amazing. I'm so grateful that that's how it was for me. But I do have to pay, like I said, for any of the body work, physiotherapy, massage, anything like that out of pocket. So there are expenses, and it can be challenging. And I actually took 3 months off of work, or I was told I needed 3 months off of work. I've been a dental assistant for about 12 years and was on medical EI. So I was getting a little bit of money that way, but it's challenging. It's not really enough to survive off of and to make ends meet. So I have acquired a little bit of debt just from living, trying to get by. And myself, I ended up losing my job, unfortunately, because of having the surgery. And my position is so intense. They need someone to fill that position. There was no one that could cover me for the 3 months. So yeah, my whole world kind of got rocked and shaken up with making the decision to go forward with the surgery. But it was something I absolutely had to do for myself, and there was no question in my mind that I was going to go forward with it. So now it's been 6 months, and I actually was fortunate enough to have my medical EI extended a little bit. And this wasn't because I had any major issues with my healing, but I could return to work at 3 months with limited duties, like limited weight. It was about no more than 5 pounds I should lift or pull or push. And so having said that, they worked at the EI office for me and was able to extend it. So now it's just ended at the beginning of February. And because of losing my job, I was able to transfer onto regular EI benefits. This isn't where I want to be permanently, of course, and I'm going to be looking and actively searching for new work. I'm trying to actually switch up my career and get out of dental. So there's a lot going on. Sometimes I feel like these are the things that happen when, the universe just says, okay, it's time. This is maybe what it took, this surgery, for me to actually have the nerve to say, you know what, I'm done with this career. I'd been thinking about it for a while, but to actually do it and try and change my work, that's a scary thing sometimes to think about. I make decent money with it, and, I have my son and I have responsibilities, so yeah, lots going on. Okay, another thing, my core stability, like being in the sling for that time, and just the surgery, everything. Like I just felt like I lost so much strength, and this whole right side, it felt like it atrophied. This whole side, my left side, was in knots from overuse, and this side kind of atrophied and got all stuck, and I wasn't able to stretch for a while. So I lost a lot of my core stability, and that's another thing that my physiotherapist is going over with me, working on regaining that strength, because if you don't have that core strength in your pelvis, it affects everything else in your body. And so Pilates can be a really great way to regain that strength. And so I've been searching out a professional that can help me with some Pilates work. I've done it on my own at home with videos, just on the mat, but it really is useful to have a professional guiding you through and telling you if you're doing things correctly or not. So that was something else I wanted to touch on. For me, I had a couple crazy things through the recovery process. sleeping, like I see a lot of comments about the pain at first and trying to sleep. It's just awful. Like I also thought like, man, is this normal? Is this how, am I ever going to be able to sleep again? Like I can't even roll onto my right side. It's so uncomfortable. You're waking up multiple times in the night. I mentioned that in the last video I posted, but yeah, it does get better. I am rolling onto my right side now and sleeping on it, which is nice. It's just nice to be able to switch it up a little bit more while I'm sleeping. But it can get achy. I'm still very conscious of it. I still wake up in the night and think, okay, time to go back onto my back and give my shoulder a break. And again, stretching as soon as I get up is important. Yeah, but the pain will get better, guys. So just know that you're not alone with that, and that it is a long road, and that you have to be patient, stay on top of taking your pain medications or whatever you're using for pain, and you know, be diligent and be positive. I personally ended up purchasing a juicer. I got it used, so it was pretty much brand new. Looked on the local buy and sell page online and ended up finding a really nice juicer, and wished I had got it right from the get-go. I got it after the surgery, but it was great because I was able to, I was craving like salads and greens, and I couldn't chop anything. I like to cook a lot, and it was probably one of the most challenging things for me to be buying all my food and not having that ability to make my own. And so the juicer was awesome. I was just throwing an apple in, whole stalks of celery, carrots, and that really made me feel a lot better and healthier and helped me with recovering. So that might be something you want to look into. What I was going to say is I had an experience where there was a pinched nerve in my shoulder. It was right before Christmas. This pinched nerve was pretty uncomfortable. I started radiating down my arm into my hand. And so I was calling my physiotherapist. I need to get in. I need to see you. This is bad. I'm in pain. It's ramping up. And she was so booked. She was so busy, and I couldn't get in to see her. It was super frustrating. And I didn't really want to see anyone else, you know, like she's the one that knows me and can do these body modifications for me. And I know that she knows what's going on. And so I kept pestering them, and the secretaries almost seemed like they were getting annoyed. It was quite a frustrating situation. And so the one night, it was about 3 weeks I was dealing with it before I was able to get in to see her. And the one night I took a little bit of an edible, marijuana edible, to sleep because of being uncomfortable. And woke up, you know, it would have been in my system a little bit, but I wasn't feeling any effect at that point the next morning. I got up, I'd been up for a while. I took the dog out, I made breakfast, you know, I'd already been up for a bit. And then I had a hot shower. And when I got out of the shower, that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to stretch my arm up above my head and try and, you know, relieve some of this pain. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I got a little dizzy. This has happened to me before. I've always been someone that gets a little lightheaded sometimes if I stand up too fast, but just stretching my arm above my head and the pinched nerve, the combination of everything, I completely blacked out. It was pretty scary. I was alone other than with the dog, and I went down hard. I was in my bathroom and I blacked out, and I went down hard, and my my lip, I don't know if you can see, there's a little scar there now because I smashed my face against the edge of the bathroom counter, and from the inside my teeth went through my lip, and from the outside the counter split it open, and it actually went all the way through. It was pretty intense. So that was another thing I had to go through right before Christmas. And I had stitches on the inside, on the outside, and yeah, I mean, life's crazy. Things can happen. I think it was because of this pinched nerve from my surgery site. So yeah, like we all have to go through all these crazy things, and just, you know, take care of yourself and listen to your body, do your best. And I'll try and do another video with some of my physio exercises, but I find it a little bit awkward to set up and show you how I'm doing them on the ground. But I'm pretty much have just been using the bands and went from the yellow to the red to the green, and external as well as internal rotations. Laying on the ground helps with stability of your shoulder rather than just standing and doing it. And then also tying the band to something and pulling down so that you're working the back of your shoulders. So those are the three main ones I've been working on. I haven't progressed to weights yet. At one point I will. along with core stability exercises. But yeah, it's coming along. Yeah, like I said, have a great physiotherapist and they can guide you through all of that. I'm not going to say that I'm a doctor or that I know exactly what you need to do for your situation, but it's important. Okay, take care, guys. Mwah.